Hi everyone and welcome to the gaming night. First of all, I'm sorry, this won't be exactly as the same as the other videos about this walkthrough that I'm making about this LushHills park. And that's because I messed up a bit with the files. And so basically I was building something that I'm going to show you now. And when I finished it, I saved, and I didn't realize that the video recording had not started. So instead of building everything all together, this will be more showcase of what I've done in the last 45 minutes about. The idea was to change the roller coaster, at least its scenery, and as you might remember from a previous episode, I was saying that I wanted something looking more like a volcano. And as you can see from the entrance already, it changed quite a bit. Now there is this kind of angry face that wasn't actually made on purpose but turned out to be a bit like this. And let's get inside and see from there is Richard Branson walking in my park. As you can see, entering from here, the view is quite dramatic, and there is a lot of fire and bursts, and this roller coaster now really goes in a different kind of way. Okay, let's continue our circle as if we were the people that want to go inside the roller coaster. So we continue on this route here. Climb up a bit and enter in this cave. Let's enter in the cave. It's a bit tricky, but I'm trying to do my best. And there it goes. This is the entrance of the volcano area with some explosions and again fire. We still need to do a few things here. We need to build an actual, some kind of building for the station. I guess some kind of old mine stuff would be cool. Like if it was a mine that was built before the mountain became a volcano. So nothing really healthy. I would say more a wreck of a mine. Okay, I'd say let's go and jump on this train here. And I wanted the other train. So train 3. Okay, so we can take a look from a very personal point of view. I want to add a few lights inside here, although I think that this darkness, especially at this time of the day, helps to improve the dramatic feeling of what's going on. One thing that I wasn't happy, and unfortunately for things I have, or at least up to my knowledge, there is no way to improve, is the color of the ground. It's a way too yellowish. I wished for something more lava-like, so a very dark gray or even almost black sand, like real lava, fresh lava. And I couldn't find it. So what I did was to put a few darker rocks on the ground, as you can see here. Okay, basically the ride is still the same as it was last time, so pretty quick. As you can see, there are a few places where the fire gets quite close to our guests on the train, but it shouldn't be harmful at the speed. Okay, fire everywhere. I think even that maybe also the rating of the ride has increased. Definitely has increased the scenery rating for the Kiwi and the prestige of the ride itself. So I'm pretty happy with it. I'm just really upset about the fact that I really wanted to show you the process as I was doing with everything else in the park, and unfortunately I messed up the file and there's no way to do it. Let's see if there is information about the performance of this stuff here. Yeah, basically still the same. I don't know if it recalculated. They say it's a really good value, so well, maybe we can also increase the tariff here. Maybe go about potential revenue. Let's go 12.5 something. Okay, just to show you a couple of things that I did, we can try to make them again in some other areas. This is not a definitive look, so we surely can improve it, and so we can continue building it right now, even if it's already in quite an advanced state. As you can see, there are a few props, some scenery, like these rocks that I was telling you before, a lot of fire in different shapes, some smoke that actually is something that you notice more when you're standing still. If you move a lot, it gets blended a bit with the rocks and everything else, so you don't notice that much. Okay, there is this fire cave here. Okay, let's find a place where we can still place a few things. Okay. Yeah, I guess this part here is not really well furnished, we could say. So let's start. So basically, where I was going is special effects and pyrotechnics, because we're dealing with fire. As you can see in some mods, I mean expansion packs, you can also pick magma panels and other things that may suit very well what I wanted to do, but in this case we don't have it, so we have to do something with what we got. So this fire large panel, if you bury it into the ground, basically it's going to show mostly the fire. You won't notice anything else. So it's pretty nice. Comes in different sizes, so we can pick a small one, a medium one, or a large one. So we can place these to illuminate the scene, which makes sense. Okay, so we go also here, because here it's really dark and I want to place a few lights. Instead of placing lights, you can really bury them deep into the ground also. So we have this flamethrower burst, that it's nice here and here. Whereas here we place it this one which is fixed, never stops. And maybe a narrow one as well. Like if it were fire coming from a fixture in the rocks. Okay. We can also put maybe one here with some large fire as well. Okay. Let's see what we can do inside this. Okay. Obviously, you cannot place the fire here. People would get cooked, basically. But maybe let's see if a small one. Yeah, maybe small ones can be placed. Huh? Will provide some light. They look harmful, but they give the idea of something going on. I like also to keep them a bit random, and I don't want them to be always in the center. see if we can make it. Let's do it like this here. We'll move it. No, I want to rotate it freely. Advanced move and duplicate. Okay. Rotate the axis. There we go. Translate. Okay, that's where I want it. Fantastic. It didn't go there. Whoa! What happened? Huh? Okay. Let's just delete it. Okay, basically we jumped out of this thing a bit too quickly with the scroll wheel. It's not easy to get inside here. I'm wondering why. If you're wondering how I'm scrolling at this speed, it's just because there is no friction wheel on the mouse. I like it, kind of like it. It's really handy and helps a lot. This quick speed it can be placed. Are you telling me that it has to be fixed or what? Okay, let's remove this one. Okay, I'll move it. Yeah, kind of like this. Okay, so more scenery here also. We'll get back to the rocks. Rock section. Section is let's get boulders here. Rocks. These are the kind of rocks that I used. And so let's put a few here and there. See, in places where there is a bit of light, so that people can see them. Otherwise, doesn't make much sense. As I was telling in the video that I didn't record. What I like about the rocks is that you can place them really in very different ways, and you still get a lot of variety from a single rock. You can really use just a single rock every time, and you can rotate them, bury them to the ground, and you get so many different looks. For example, here we can make something with only one rock. I'll show you. You can place them in so many different ways. You can even build a bigger rock with a small rock. So it's pretty nice. Something it's useful to cover this kind of things when they're coming a bit too much outside of the ground. So you can bury them. Yeah, like this. Also here. Again, I'm using almost always the same kind of rock. The results are nice. I mean, can be better, but definitely they don't look bad. And I'm also rotating them only on one axis. This is much easier. Really. Okay. Just for the sake of immersion, let's put them also a bit here around and see how they go. Okay, what is this ice rock? Oh, they look good. Maybe if there is a very small one, we can. Yeah, they're not too bad. We covered in ice, which doesn't make sense, but small boulder. No. I was looking for something that could remind of not ice. But more like a crystal. It seems I cannot find it, so never mind. We won't need it. Okay. Screens. No, we don't need screens here, definitely. Okay, I guess this is taking shape. I don't mean that it's perfect, nor that something that doesn't need any more any other change. Definitely needs. As I was saying, I really don't like texture here. But I still have to find a way to make it better. Right now it looks a bit like a pile of, you understood. And so okay, let's change a bit the time of the day so you can get an idea of how it looks also in different conditions. This is like really early in the morning, and there's some poetry, almost night, I would say, 5:25 a.m. And I think it's the moment where it looks better. The color is in this bluish, grayish tone that makes sense. There is a lot of fire, also buried in the ground, so you get these light effects that are pretty nice. This is like a caldera of the volcano where the lava is coming out. It's a bit like if the park was devastated by a meteor and something crashed on the ground. But I think in the end it's cool. So I think I'll stick with it. Also, one thing that I want to do is at this point we need to make another route outside here that goes around here, just because you can get inside, but this is meant more to be like a scenery route. Now that you take a walk, you can just relax as you're coming out from the roller coaster, and you can get around. I want to make a few exits and entrances, so that people that are inside can move somewhere else without having to do the whole trip all around this roller coaster. And I think soon we have to start building some other rides, because there are only 3, and I guess people would get a bit bored. As you can see, most of the things are green. People look happy, so I mean, it's fair. Let's see what's not going very well. I had a terrible time. I pickpocketed all my money. Okay, I have to hire a few security guards. There's nothing, not enough to do here. I'm going home. That's exactly what I was saying. There's good and bad things about this park. Overall, about average. Okay, just 2%. My 85% think it's amazing, so I'm pretty happy with it. Okay. So let's think about something. I'd say that for this video, which is quite a short one compared to the others for obvious reasons, we can say we're fine. And I want to ask you though, if you prefer this kind of videos. Let's take the chance of this error to think about if you prefer something like this, like where I'm basically describing what's going on without actually building the whole thing, or maybe showing a few things just. Or if you prefer me to go and continue in the walkthrough completely, like in the previous videos. My idea was to make 2 different series, maybe a shorter video series where I just grab what I've done and describe it, a bit like this, and another with the whole walkthrough. That basically I'm just playing the game and talking through. Sometimes I get distracted, sometimes I start with my and those weird sounds, but they make sense in the videos because at least you can see the process, which I think is valuable. And I'm really describing what I'm doing or what I'm thinking. Um, Either way, just let me know in the comments, and if you like the video and enjoy the channel, please subscribe and hit the like button. It always helps. Thank you. Bye bye.